probably shouldn't be posting this, but there is a TikToker on here whose name I'm not going to say just in case, who is known for going live, and she's been living out of a motel that I just so happened to work at. And we had to kick them out today and DNR them because they couldn't pay their bill, and I quote, because TikTok didn't pay me.
Y'all, this story just keeps developing more and more. Just a couple days ago, I made a video about Tophiachu begging for $120. In that video, she claims that she needed the $120 because she was fearing for her safety. She later goes on to basically explain that this means that she was fearing losing the place she was staying at, which is a hotel. She had been staying at like one of these long-term stay hotels for quite a while, and it finally caught up to her because she wasn't able to pay the money. Well, after trying to be super secretive about what exactly took place, we now know from a housekeeper that worked at the hotel that Tophiachu was kicked out after not paying for her stay. But not only did she not pay, she also ended up having like a super messy room. I mean, y'all, I've seen the pictures of this. This girl ended up releasing like pictures and videos. It's even worse than you can imagine. Like, y'all already know Tophia is a pretty dirty person. She's known for having a bad hygiene, but it goes far beyond that. And you also got to put in perspective that this isn't even her own house. This was a hotel. So this isn't just like her own home that she's messing up. She's supposed to be staying here. You know what I mean? She's supposed to be respecting the place because it isn't her house. It's a hotel that somebody else owns. And you know, it's one thing to leave a few things on the ground or even have it a little messy considering how long she was staying there. But the way that this housekeeper puts it, Tophia didn't clean up anything her whole entire stay. So the trash was just piling up, which is one of the main reasons why she would put a background when she was doing her live streams. Because the most obvious thing you would think about is that she wouldn't want people seeing the background because then they can sort of like reverse image search it, maybe find the hotel. But around that time when she was using this, background, she had already been doxxed. So people already knew the hotel that she was staying at. So that wasn't the reason. Turns out the reason that she was using this background was because she didn't want people to see how dirty her hotel room was getting. But folks, it doesn't even stop there. Y'all gotta see this archive by a channel called Tophiachu Archive. This channel basically posted the whole interaction between this housekeeper and Tophiachu, and it gets pretty crazy. So first, let's hear the housekeeper's point of view, and then we'll hear what Tophiachu has to say in response and compare the two.
I probably shouldn't be posting this, but there is a TikToker on here whose name I'm not going to say just in case, who is known for going live, and she's been living out of a motel that I just so happened to work at. And we had to kick them out today and DNR them because they couldn't pay their bill, and I quote, because TikTok didn't pay me. They were disgusting, and I can confirm her room was disgusting. I can also confirm that when they were kicked out this morning, they parked outside of the parking lot, and their mom or grandma took a shit on the sidewalk. They're as disgusting as you think they are. That's the reason for the green screen. I cannot describe to you the smell that was emanating from that room. I could even smell it on her brother when we would pass each other when I was on my way into work and he was going to the Circle K up the street. It's not apartment style living. It's an extended stay hotel, and it is a dump. For my own safety, I'm not going to be dropping the name of the hotel that I work at on the internet to a bunch of strangers. But I promise you I'm telling the truth. Why would I fucking lie about this? I only ever went in their room once, and that was like the week after they got a clean notice, which means that their room was so disgusting that we almost had to kick them out, and they had to clean it up to not get kicked out. It was still disgusting, and it smelled like ass. I'm pretty sure we had to throw away every single set of sheets that we gave them. They refused to ever let us actually come in and clean, which is part of the reason they got kicked out. And I will do everything in my power to get you pictures and videos of that room because no one that I work with gives a shit. I mean, there's really not anything to tell except for the fact that they were just disgusting people and you could smell their room a mile away. They only ever wanted sheets. They would barely ever let us into the room. Not that we wanted to go in because it was disgusting. This is not a nice hotel. It's not apartment style. Like, it's literally a shithole. It's where the fucking New Mexico government used to send people when they got out of prison. Like, this is the same hotel that had the guy jacking it in the fucking courtyard, and the same one where a week prior to that, they arrested a frickin' he was not living it up. I don't have a lot of stories. In fact, I don't have like really any stories because I never interacted with her because they stayed in their room like the gross mole people that they were. But I can tell you that the reason they had roaches is because their kitchen was absolutely fucking disgusting and it had food on it that was probably older than my nieces and nephews. Always. Okay, the roaches were their fault. Also, the people working the front desk are wonderful, nice people that are good at their jobs. The only time that the staff at the hotel, myself included, are going to be less than nice to a guest is when they are less than nice to us, okay? We match energy. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm about to head into work, so we'll find out if I have a job. Pretty sure I still do. But I just want to tell you guys, it would be one thing, and you, Tophia. You should hear this too. You were no longer a guest. She was no longer a guest at the hotel. All of those privileges go out the window once you are no longer a guest at the hotel. Now you're just a fucking crazy person, okay, baby girl? I'm not scared of you. I've seen how fast you can move, okay? Everything I said was true. You even admitted it on your fucking Instagram story, bitch. I don't know why you're still lying. You literally, all I said was you got kicked out because your room was gross and you didn't pay rent, which is exactly what fucking happened, okay?
It's crazy, y'all. No matter where Tophiachu goes, she always has beef with someone. I mean, come on, y'all. This is a housekeeper that was just working at the hotel that Tophiachu's in. And Tophiachu has done enough for this housekeeper to go on a full crusade against her. It's like, who would have seen this coming? We're talking about Tophiachu, the most pleasant person to be around. Somebody who just exemplifies cleanliness, right? And this housekeeper just comes with the straight heat when it comes to all the lore behind how Tophia's been acting in this hotel. She's obviously been super unreasonable. She's been dirty. And apparently Mama Chu even went as far as taking a shit on the sidewalk. I mean, the information that we got out of this housekeeper is insane. Tophia really shouldn't have talked all this shit about these people. First of all, she should have just let the housekeeper clean the room. I mean, it's really that easy. Just let the housekeeper do their job. It's not even like she had to clean the shit herself. She was just so lazy that she didn't want to have to leave her room for 15 minutes to get it cleaned. Or, you know, maybe she was worried that she would get kicked out because the room was in such dismay. I mean, that girl even says that they were considering kicking her out if she didn't clean it at one point. So we got to think about how much shit Tophia put these people through. It was obviously a lot for this girl to go on an all-out crusade against her. And Tophia gives very little pushback. She essentially says that yes, this girl was a housekeeper, and parts of what she's saying is true, which essentially means that she's telling the truth about everything. Because how ambiguous is that? I mean, that could literally mean anything, Tophia. Why don't you tell us what the truths and the lies are, instead of just, you know, saying that this girl is telling some truths and some lies? I think she's gonna kind of go into it, but either way, she dances around the major stuff. None of it really matters in the end because we all know it's true. Tophia was just complaining about needing $120. She said that she feared for her safety, meaning that she couldn't find a place to stay. And you know what that means? She was getting evicted. And for sure it happened. You can only do that shit for so long until the owner has to kick you out because you're basically just mooching and ruining a room.
So I want to address this because it needs to be addressed. Yes, the lady that posted the video is a housekeeper. She's not telling you 100% of the full story. She doesn't know 100%. So I'm going to explain to you. And I would advise you I would advise you, if you're the housekeeper, that you take that video down, because it's not going to look good for you. I've already got the video. I'm going to send it to your corporate, and I'm also filing a report with the police, because that put my family in danger. And I know the police really don't do much, but at this point, I don't got no choice. That put my family in danger, and you're a maid, you're not a worker, and you have no right sharing people's business. But I'm going to come on here and explain what happened, because I feel like it's very important for me to explain what's going on. So for reasons why I'm not going to be giving a lot of information, details, my business is my business. It's nobody else's business. So, as you know, like I said, my brother's the one that takes up the rent. There was some issues on his part, which is why if I had got paid from TikTok, I could have took up the rent until he fixed his issues with paying the rent. I'm not going to say anything to give away anything, because it's my business. But she's a maid. Her friend, who is also a maid, was acting like she owned the place. She's rude. She hates her job. She doesn't like it. And if you don't like, because you're supposed to be hospitable, you know hospitality, right? You probably went for that. Like, you literally went for that. So I don't know why you're acting like you hate your job so much. If you hate your job, don't work. Okay, so my brother said someone was going to come by, right? And to wait on them. And then he said that kind of, because he was at work, it was 3. There was nothing he could do until 3. So then I was like, okay, fine. They said we have till 3 to pay. Whatever. And then they come back, right? It's like 5 something, I think. I can't remember. They came back 3 times. No, actually, wait. Yeah, they came back 3 times, I believe. Anyways, the one lady that is really nice and worked with us last time, right, because of the issues going on, I'm not going to mention what issues. It was not because I didn't get paid from TikTok. That is not what it was. I'm just going to state that. The payment issues were because, okay, so the payment issues, like I said, my brother's the one that pays the rent, and I'm not going to say why. It's none of anyone's business. But the main reason why the rent didn't get paid is because I could have had the money from TikTok to cover whatever my brother couldn't pay until he was able to pay. That was the main issue. So then, they come to the door. They said we had till 3. Okay, fine. 3 rolls around, and I'm like, we just got to get our stuff packed. We just got to get going, because we don't have it. I said we couldn't, because it was right before 3. Like, I don't know. It wasn't like the last minute before 3. I had said we couldn't figure something out because, I said, whatever. Sorry. I'm just trying to talk the best that I can. I'm just distraught and upset and very worried, because that puts my family in danger. So then he was like, oh crap, okay, well, he had just gone off and he said, I'm coming, whatever. Then the lady comes and says, okay, you have till 5:30. They came back, they were like, you have till 5:30. And I was like, okay, whatever. I get a loud knock on my door. It's the lady that works with us, and she's like, they said that you had to pack. And I said, they told us till 5:30. We're waiting because my brother just got off work. He's gonna come, and then he's gonna get the money and pay you guys. And she was like, I'll give you till 6. That's what she whispered. This lady is really nice, mind you. She was the nicest lady in this whole situation, and that may seem nice, right? But you shouldn't be posting people's business on the internet. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't. So anyways, my brother had an issue with his check, and then he went to go get the money. He came back, he got a ride, and he went to go get the money. So then we're sitting here, we're waiting, and this lady comes banging on the door the rude lady, and she's like, you're gonna have to pack, you're gonna have to get out. And I said, well, the other lady gave us till 6. And she was like, oh, let me go talk to so and so. I'm not gonna name people because they don't need to be named in this situation. And so she left. Mind you, she's the maid, so why is she handling people when she's a maid? She doesn't handle people's rooms, which is really weird, and she hates her job.
Y'all, eventually I had to cut Tophiachu off because she just kept yapping. She basically says that the situation is all Brother Chu's fault because he had an issue paying the rent, because of course Brother Chu is the only one who makes any actual money in that family, so he's in charge of anything that has to do with finances. So Tophia is saying that because Brother Chu had some kind of situation where he couldn't pay the rent, that it all fell on her. And because TikTok wouldn't let her pull out any money, she was having issues. Then she makes the whole situation hearsay by bringing in another worker and saying that there was this, this totally real worker who was so nice to Tophia. She was so accommodating. She loved that Tophiachu was there. She even told her to stay a little bit longer just so she can collect her things, right? She even wanted Tophiachu to wait in the lobby and have a cup of cocoa with her. Chat about some shoddy bay drama or something like that. Whatever Tophiachu's got on her mind, right? It's all a bunch of bullshit. You're gonna go and demean this worker, this housekeeper, and call them a maid. You're gonna say that they hate their job because they have to deal with your bullshit and clean up after your messes. I mean, come on, dude. Even if that other worker did exist, this housekeeper has a right to be angry because she's the one who has to clean up your mess at the end of the day. When you're gone and you got all your stuff packed, this lady is going to be the one who has to dig through your garbage and clean it all up. She has the right to be a little bit angry at you. And then you go on to make the claim that you feared for your safety. She didn't give any identifying information in her first post. And then, like I said, you had to go talk shit about her, demean her, and call her a maid, say that she hates her job. So of course, she's gonna talk shit about you, dude. That's just how shit works. Everybody has a TikTok nowadays. If you're gonna fuck somebody over and like you're some kind of influencer on social media, even as small as Tophia, right? Even if you were like Nova and you fuck somebody over, they're gonna make a video about it because they know that you have an online presence. At the end of the day, you have no evidence, Tophia. Everything you've said so far is hearsay. You have zero evidence to the claim that there was this other worker that wanted you to stay and this housekeeper just kicked you out illegally or something. You're making it sound like you weren't gonna be gone that day. It doesn't even matter that the housekeeper kicked you out, dude. Like I said, she had a right to be mad. But you can't go and make all these claims with zero evidence when this girl has literal pictures from inside your dirty hotel room. She has actual evidence that you were a horrible guest at that hotel, that you made it a living hell for anybody who's a housekeeper, right? And then you're gonna sit there and blame her for being angry. You're gonna say that she works in hospitality, so she should just deal with it. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. I completely believe this girl because you're really sitting here and downplaying everything that you've done and trying to blame it all on your brother and this housekeeper. Maybe it's your fault, Tophia. You're 30 years old. You should have a job. You should be able to help your family with rent. When things like this happen, it shouldn't be this big of a situation. You should be able to just pay it and move on. But the fact that all you had was this $320 sitting in your TikTok account shows that you are financially unstable. But now, folks, for the moment you've all been waiting for, here is the pictures from inside Tophiachu's hotel room.
Yes, I do still have a job. And I want you guys to know that my district manager would have said all the same shit that I'm saying about her, only to her face. I will also say the room is a little bit cleaner than I expected. It's still disgusting. It smells like piss, body odor, and 10-year-old cooking grease. Like, there's so much grease on the light bulb over the stove that when I turned it on, it smelled like something was cooking. Here's all the brand new sheets we've been bringing in that they haven't been using. I don't want to know what that is. They're also currently still parked up the street in the same spot. Their shit is still behind their car. I would get you a picture, but I don't want to get that close to them.
I know what some of y'all might be thinking. Lemur, that's not that bad. First of all, buddy, look around at your room. Look around in your environment. Reevaluate your situation. You might be living in filth, brother. Either way, you kind of also have a point because for Tophiachu standards, that's really not that bad. But you have to put into perspective that this is a hotel room that she was staying at. Now, if this was just her normal house, I'd be like, okay, it's a little messy, but not that bad. But you look at stuff like the light fixtures and the stove, and you can see the damage that she did to those things. You look at the floorboards, you can see the damage that she did there. Now, if this was a house that somebody owned, yes, I'd be like, all right, whatever, they kind of damaged their floor. This is a hotel. She also scratched up all the doors. I mean, this is definitely grounds for getting kicked out. There's no reason why she should be complaining or saying that it's anybody else's fault or any other reason why she's being kicked out. It's because of what she did to that room. Sure, part of it might be because she didn't pay on time, but I'm pretty sure in the initial clip, the lady had said that, they give people extensions. But Tophiachu was doing much more than being late on her payments. She was sitting there and fucking up that whole hotel room. So she definitely deserved to be kicked out at the end of the day. You can't expect to stay at a place like that and then just completely trash it and act indignant. Say it's the housekeeper's fault for not being hospitable enough. Are you serious, dude? Of course she fucking exposed you. You're asking for it. And this all stems from Tophiachu making a TikTok post where she asked for $120. All this could have stayed off the internet, at least for the most part, if she never made that post. And if she never talked shit about that hotel worker. All she had to do was not do any of those things. All she had to do was just not post on the internet, essentially. Just take a break from the internet for a week or something. Think about how you're going to make money. Go mow some lawns for a week or something, dude. Go collect cans. Think about how you're going to make that $120 instead of spending the week complaining on Instagram about it and completely ruining your whole life, dog. It took Tophiachu 2 days to completely destroy whatever life she had left. She was clinging on to that hotel room with her dear life, and she couldn't just take a week off to get some money together and actually pull through. She had to make this thing a whole big ass drama. And now she's sitting there outside of the same hotel room she was kicked out of. But hey, that's just the life of Tophiachu, folks. It's a sad, sad existence. But with that being said, folks, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time. Thank you for being here with me. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All that helps out in the algorithm. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.